Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Stranger 76. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, it's early, bro. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired. I feel bad though, Wes. I told Radio Runt 6 a.m. on the West Coast, so he got up early for 6, and then we didn't start it at 7 my time. It was an hour and 15 minutes, but he's had time to have coffee like me and starting to wake up. So that's good, right?
Yeah, coffee and VR go well together, I hear.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was telling somebody jokingly, maybe you should have a cup of coffee. I could have one. We could render reality up, but I don't think we could do them justice. So I
Right.
nixed that idea right off the bat. So but yeah, no, coffee's good. Coffee is my lifeblood, and I question your soul if you don't like coffee.
My soul could go for some coffee right about now. For those of you who don't know, I normally work night shift, so this is basically the equivalent of like what your 3 a.m. would be. This is
Mm.
what we're doing now. We're getting up in the middle of the night to talk about VR, and the only reason we're doing it is because there's so much to talk about, Roots.
Yeah. Plus, VR Roundtable, and if you don't know VR Roundtable, because there actually was a couple people in the Discord that they were like, "What's VR Roundtable?" It's like the best podcast of VR ever doing a reunion after our show, and check it out, man. It's easy on YouTube, dude. It's worth watching, and hopefully they'll start doing it again, man. I kind of miss the Roundtable every week, right?
Well, yeah, I know that a lot of people do, and I'm just going to be honest, Roots. I might have watched one episode of VR Roundtable. I know Anthony's show
Mm.
from Anthony's show. I'm one
Oh,
of
okay.
these weird people who discovered the VR Game Rankings channel without VR Roundtable. But yeah, a great bunch of guys, a couple of which we've come to know pretty well. And from what I hear, a legendary show.
Yeah, dude, like it was my like every Sunday, man, religiously I was like waiting. I would I just it was it's what I would imagine that some people that love Virtual Strangers, how they feel about our show. That's how I felt about VR Roundtable. So I'm excited to watch it afterwards and just get their take. So
So yeah, so we're going early today out of respect to those guys. They're having a little reunion episode. Roots, they're having Guy Godin on their show today. And for those of you who don't know who that is, and maybe I'm mistaken here, but if I believe that's the developer behind Virtual Desktop.
oh wow, dude. So I didn't recognize the name, but that's big, man. That's cool. Yeah. That's I was like my thing was like I didn't see Roots was slid in there as the guest person, but then I guess that's a good backup as the virtual desktop guy, right?
Yeah, well, especially because we had so many announcements this last week at our Facebook Connect 7. We've had it confirmed that the new Oculus Quest 2, the technological marvel that it is going to support Wi-Fi 6. And as soon as I heard that, and we hear Carmack all of a sudden talking about AirLink, the first thing that comes to my mind is Guy Godin
Mm.
in Virtual Desktop. What's he going to be able to do with all this new tech? And I'm pretty sure that that's the going to be the line of questioning today on the VR Roundtable.
Yeah, that's a good question because I'll tell you what, man. Everybody thought when the Quest came out that was it when the Quest came out? They pretty much thought Virtual Desktop was kind of gonna die, and then he adapted and changed it, and then made it one of the most amazing apps, must-have apps for the Oculus Quest. And I imagine when I'm using my Oculus Quest 2 that I finally broke down and ordered that I will be using that wireless virtual desktop. Now it's funny because I was just lecturing Jim Hall the night before playing Sea of Thieves on why you shouldn't get it and why I wasn't going to get it, and then the next day I had it ordered. So I'm all over the place, dude.
Everyone, many naysayers having a moment of weakness amongst the hype storm that was the Oculus Quest 2 announcement. As cringe as it even was, especially when Zuckerberg was up there doing his little skit with Bosworth, it's hard not to be excited about those specs for that price. And, it's become a bit of a meme on our show. what's it going to take for Roots to jump in? Well, I think we have our answer here. Roots finally pulled the trigger and is finally going to get to experience standalone VR for the first time.
Yeah, and what's crazy, I guess everybody's worried about these IPD sliders, right? Or the 3 spots, but I'm like right in that range anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna have an issue. So I just there's a lot of well, I guess I was gonna say I don't understand, but I do understand it because this happens every single time. It doesn't matter what it is, everybody gets all roared up, and then it comes out and then everyone simmers down. But I am excited about the Quest 2. I'm excited about the just that everything about it looks amazing to me. I was telling you right before the show, I do have my concerns about Facebook and their presence and their changing, but we knew, like you said, and we knew where it was coming, so everyone's acting shocked. It's just things are going to change for Facebook, but it's not going to change for Valve. It's not going to change for all the other companies out there. Facebook isn't it. EA is making games. Ubisoft is making games. Facebook is going to kind of fall behind. They don't need to be making these AAA games anymore. We got the AAA guys doing it now, right?
Well, they're going to still be funding and making AAA VR games. It's just you're not so much going to see AAA PC VR exclusives from Oculus. I think what's going to happen is over time we're going to see the Oculus Rift store become the Oculus Link store, and all of the big titles coming from Facebook after Medal of Honor, after Lone Echo 2, of course, all of the future big exclusives from Facebook are going to be developed for the Quest first, and then we'll see a PC version of some of them, but instead of being called a Rift game, it's going to be called something like the Link Enhanced version. So you buy the game for your Quest being the only Oculus headset, but then you can connect your Quest to your PC via Link or AirLink and play the Link Enhanced version of the game, which in effect will be a whole different PC version of the game.
Yeah, I think people are getting a little upset too early, and I'm excited. Now, what do you think about people like Cyan? Should he upgrade his CV1 to this Quest 2? I mean, he's worried about the IPD and the tracking and I mean, I don't know about I don't know. I know in his particular case, because he's Echo VR crazy, he's worried about the occlusion. But other than that, I think I don't see why anybody wouldn't upgrade. The upgrade from CV1 to Rift S was amazing, and I imagine this is going to be even better.
Well, that's the thing, right? You remember that jump we got, right? When we moved from CV1 to Rift S, people were saying it's not going to be an upgrade. It was an upgrade. And let me tell you, the jump from that to this is going to be a similar jump. So to go from CV1 to Quest 2, I got to imagine would be jarring, the difference in clarity. And if you're worried about the tracking, there's only really one way that you're ever going to know if it's good enough for you, and that is to try it. And it's not like you're locked in for life if you order one of these things. Order it from Amazon, try it out. If it isn't satisfactory to you, send it back.
That's exactly why I pulled the gun. I was like, okay, one, I can pre-order it now. I don't have to pay any money. I can actually put money aside over the next 3-4 weeks and buy it. And then I can easily return it. I just returned something last week from Amazon. Just took it down to Kohl's and they shipped it. Didn't have to do anything. I just showed them my phone, dude. So it's really easy. And why not try it? Why not check it out? Especially if you have the funds to, and especially if you're in that type of boat. Because I went back to CV1 for 1 month, and I couldn't stand it. So I don't know how people are. I mean, I guess if you don't know, but it's just so the clarity and the increase in graphics is just so much better. Just even go to the Rift S. So
yeah, and I gotta say, Roots, I think that you're going to be in for a treat, even moving up from the Rift S. They're not just canceling that headset because they hate PCVR or anything. They fully expect the Quest 2 Link experience to be superior to that of the Rift S, and I fully expect the same thing. Not on launch day, and it's very important that we recognize that on launch day, this is basically just going to be a Quest 1 with a nice screen in it. But over time, they're going to bring Link out of uh, the Quest 2 Link out of beta up to full 90 hertz mode. We're going to get better drivers for the new hardware, and the experience is going to just improve over time. And anyone who's had a Quest 1 since launch knows exactly what I'm talking about, because the platform has basically improved the entire time that we've had the device, and it even continues to improve to this day.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, what was I gonna say? No, go ahead. I totally spaced what I was gonna say.
Anyway, what you were talking about earlier about how people are going to be, some people are going to be upset with, some of the shortcuts that they took, some of the cost cutting uh, measures that they took with the 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 loss of the IPD slider, the build materials, the strap. People are going to, when the hype wears off, they're going to start complaining about this. And, we understand that. But what people need to recognize, I would say, is one, um, half of the hype behind the Quest 2 was that 299 price tag. And sure, Facebook could have just made their base model have all of these extra features and charge $500 or $600 for it. But if they had done that, it wouldn't have had near the hype that it got. That cheap price tag is a big deal for VR as a whole, and I really think that it's an awesome approach that they've taken this time, because it's not just like they're giving us the 299 and saying deal with it. That there's two different versions. There's a handful of different upgrades that you can purchase right now to make your experience a better one. So it's more of a modular device this time around, and I can appreciate that. And Roots, if we thought that 399 was a game changer when the Quest 1 came out, just wait. Just wait until people get their hands on this very powerful, compact device at a very affordable price.
Yeah, it's Christmas time, and last year a lot of people couldn't get the Quest one. You know what I mean? And now you got a better one for cheaper. I mean, I just think it's gonna blow up, dude. It's gonna be huge. I don't think people realize how huge it is. The timing of it, timing of everything, the COVID, the lockdowns, the not being able to get them for a year, the upgrade and the amazing chip. I mean, all of it comes together as one. And there's, as far as I can see, Wes, there's no limit on the supply. Like I waited like 3 days and it was still there on Amazon. I was still able to pre-order it. So I think they're doing everything right. And I think we're getting ready to see VR take off in the next year in ways we've never thought would happen this quickly.
Yeah, the ball's in Sony's court now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, as good as Quest has done, it really, still the number's kind of small compared to what PlayStation VR has done. So I can imagine up until now that while Sony knows that Facebook has the potential to become competition for PlayStation VR, they never were really all that concerned about it. I got to imagine that they're concerned today, and it's going to be interesting over these next few months what Sony does. They've still been very quiet about what their plans are for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR, but we know that they're working on it. We know that they're working on it. The only question is when, not if, but when. And I'm really pumped to see how Sony's going to answer this remarkable, very affordable and accessible device that Facebook is putting forth.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a really cheap PSVR 2 that comes out, right, or something, or a cheaper version. I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know. I fully expect wireless tethering. I don't know if it'll be a standalone you can take away from your house, but I got to imagine that they're at least looking at technologies like that. The future is going to come through remote streaming. They had, that was one of the features of the PlayStation Vita handheld PlayStation that launched with the PS4, or maybe even a little earlier than PS4. But you could game remotely on Vita. You could take your Vita with you, and unless I'm badly mistaken, and play your PlayStation 4 while you're not home. I know you can do that through an app today, even on various tablets and other smart devices. So I got to imagine that as the internet bandwidth increases, that this is going to be very much a possibility for us, and we could see a PlayStation VR 2 that not only allows us to tether wirelessly to our PlayStation 5 when we're home, but it also allows us to tether to it remotely when we're not at home.
How cool would that be? That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That'd be amazing technology that nobody would expect to work this early, but sounds cool. Now, I don't know how much you want to get into it. I'm sure we'll probably I don't even know. We haven't discussed the Monday show, but people were like really curious, Wes, before the show even started. What's the deal with Wes's video card? Did he get a video card? Did he not get a video card?
Well, I'll just say this to start off with. The video card, thankfully, wasn't my top item of the three that I was going for this week. But thankfully, I got two out of the three things that I went after. And in the words of the immortal Meat Loaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Ruuts.
I didn't even know about the PlayStation VR things on Amazon, or otherwise I would have tried to get in on that as well. I mean, I saw Driven By say something, and I'm assuming you went right over and ordered it right then. I did not. I waited like half a day, and then it was all gone. So
You're talking about PlayStation?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about that is that Sony has recognized the bungling of their pre-orders by the retail partners, and they have come out and apologized and promised that there are going to be another round of pre-orders this week. So if you didn't get in on that initial offering and PlayStation 5 is something that you want, you're going to get another chance to get one very, very soon.
Yeah, but I don't have Wes watching it like a hawk because you already got yours. You're like sitting back relaxing.
Dude, let me tell you, it was looking pretty grim for me. Of course, I got Oculus Quest 2 the minute it went on sale, direct from the Oculus website. But the PlayStation wasn't supposed to go on sale that day. It was supposed to go on sale the next day. So I'm at work, right? And I'm thinking everything's all peachy. And then I go to take my lunch break, and I see the hours before that the PlayStations had all gone on sale and sold out.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
sitting here for my entire lunch break, trying to find some place that'll let me pre-order a PlayStation. And you know, Roots, I've saved up for nearly 2 years to buy this thing, right? And for it just to go out of stock when it wasn't even supposed to be on sale, it pissed me off pretty bad. So I called wife on the end of my lunch break. I told her what was up, had put her on the job of trying to get one, and then I got off work. I get off work every night about 11:30, almost midnight, and she wasn't able to get one. But we were still firmly in the mindset that 3080s were about to go on sale, so I had to get home and get to my computer and get ready. So just before midnight, I sit down at my computer. My wife goes to get dinner for me, and I look down at my phone, and the PSVR Without Parole Discord is sending a notification to my phone, and it's Jay Meow saying PlayStation 5s are live on Amazon right now. And I grab my phone really quick. I click into the Discord. Kyle PSVR has linked the product page for everyone. I click the link, and within 30 seconds, it's in my cart, and I'm checked out. And
Nice.
I actually ended up getting one at the last minute, just by sheer luck,
Mm.
or sheer I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly luck. I mean, that's a great community over there at the PSVR Without Parole Discord. I encourage you all to join if you haven't already. But Roots, I was saved at the last moment. Otherwise, it was going to be a really bad time.
Yeah, that's the best PlayStation VR community, and that's one of the good things about the Discords, right? And same thing with ours. It's like everybody's looking out for each other. There's sales. There's hey that driven by, he was right on there saying, hey dude, I just bought this at Amazon. I thought you had got that. That's when I saw it. So yeah, dude, and I'm kind of glad Sony stepped up and they're giving people another chance because I didn't know it was coming. I wasn't watching for it, but so is Amazon going to get it as well? Because if I'm going to do it, it has to be with a future payment. So
Well, the statement that Sony released on the new pre-orders specifically said to uh, stay tuned to your favorite
oh
retailers for more information. So it's not going to be a direct pre-order from Sony. It's actually going to be another round of pre-orders from the retailers. So yeah, I got to imagine Amazon being the only one who actually waited until they were supposed to go. I got to imagine that they'll be the first to get more.
yeah, yeah. At least they paid attention. They did they did the thing. Now so the 3080s debacle, right? So
Man, what a fuster-cluck that was, huh?
yeah, dude. I mean, for except for in the UK, like Reaver RO, he got one. Alex got one. I've heard of a few people that have gotten one, but I still, and I'll, if you got one in the United States, put in the
Well,
chat, because I don't know anybody that got one.
well, I'll say this about these people in Europe that got it. I'm pretty sure Alex ordered one from a place that was taking back orders, so he
Uh,
basically just got to back order one. There is a place here in the United States doing exactly the same thing, but I was not even about to pay for an item that has no ship date on it and get it at the end of 2022. You
yeah.
know what I mean? But CDW is taking back orders. If anybody's interested in doing such a thing, you can do it. Now, as far as Revero, his situation's a little bit better, but because he got his from Amazon in Germany, um, but again, that was basically a listing that shouldn't have went live, and literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people ordered that thing from Amazon. Now they've said that they're going to uh, fulfill the orders, but it could be a while, man, before everybody gets there. So hopefully, our good friend Revero got his order in fairly quickly because that link to the German Amazon, it was up on Reddit and everyone knew about it and everyone was using it, even people in the United States because they do ship to the US as
Hmm.
well.
Wow. Well, that's good. Well, Steven Sales says he had to buy a whole computer to get one. 3 to 4 weeks and $2,200 later.
He
So
must have got that pre-built from B&H Photo Video. I looked at it, but I'm again, if I'm going to not spend $1,500 on a 3090, I'm not surely not going to spend
hmm.
22 to get a whole system, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you have. If your system needs replaced anyway, it's like, okay, I can
That's
justify it.
true.
I want it today. That's the thing, man. We live in a society where I want it now. I'm waiting 6 months, dude. Fuck that. But
Well,
I want to get a new. I'm now instead of looking at Overg's opened my eyes. He just rebuilt his computer and put an i10 in his computer, and started thinking, like my 8700K is really good, but it's starting to get dated. It's like 3 4 years old that I've had it in there, and at some point I'm going to need to upgrade to a better processor. So I'm going to start looking at that. I probably won't do it in the next year or so, but maybe. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, I think we're okay. I'm running the same processor. I think we're okay for probably another 2 years at least on that. And the way the technology moves so quickly, the longer we can wait to upgrade, the better off we're going to be. So I'm looking to upgrade the graphics card right now. I do want to just urge everyone to be patient. Thankfully, and rightfully so, Nvidia ended up with quite a bit of egg on their face during this whole thing, and I think what that's going to amount to is another, much like Sony, another round of orders coming this week. But even if you don't get in on the direct orders from Nvidia, uh, the partners, the manufacturing partners, your EVGAs, your ASUSes, your Gigabytes, these people are constantly going to be manufacturing these cards, and these stores are going to be um, they're going to be restocking, at least weekly, probably a couple of times a week. So we might not get in on the action, today or tomorrow or even this week. But as long as you've got something in your computer that you can make do with, then you can afford to be patient, right? Let the 3070s and 3090s come out, and then watch as the 3080s become available. I'm willing to bet that those of us who are willing to be vigilant yet patient, we're all going to have cards by the end of October.
Yeah, maybe better cards or cheaper. Because now you're, instead of getting the 3080, you're looking at the 3080 Ti at the same price. So
Well, those super variants were leaked a few days ago by Gigabyte. All of the super variants are going to have double VRAM roots. Now,
oh Jesus.
no release date on those. In fact, it's likely to be at the end of the year at the very least before we start to see those cards. But they are 100% on the way.
Wow. That's double VRAM, dude. That's huge.
It can be. It depends on what your use case is, but absolutely. Um, loads of VRAM is reportedly going to be the big advantage for the AMD cards. So it only makes sense that Nvidia would have a response ready to go in their back pocket.
Yeah, true.
But a lot of people angry, a lot of people not able to get in on the graphics cards, and sadly, it was fairly predictable. We talked about it last week about all of the leaks and rumors, which were stating that Nvidia was planning on creating an artificial shortage, so that not only do they get the PR bump from pricing these things so low, but they also get to price gouge when the scarcity takes hold and demand drives the price up. Luckily, a lot of media outlets um, ran with the story, got the word out there, and Nvidia's kind of looking like the bad guy again. So I think uh, that we as consumers are going to benefit from that. But Roots, my experience trying to order one of these things on launch day very much backs up what we were saying last week. The my experience with it went. Of course, I stayed up all night clicking all the websites,
Mm-hmm.
refreshing, trying to catch one. But when 9 a.m. rolled around, I was on the NVIDIA website refreshing, and it never came up as a live, ready to order product. It went straight from coming soon to out of stock. But the interesting thing is when it went out of stock, Nvidia provided links to other retailers so that you can check their stock. But the funny thing about that is all of the links that Nvidia provided, they also provided prices with, and the prices ranged anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, though, if you click on, say, the $1,200 link on the NVIDIA website, it would link you to Newegg for a $700 product. It would link you to Amazon for a $800 product, or Best Buy, or what have you. Basically, you had NVIDIA quoting very, very inflated prices that were never even charged on the sites that they were linking to. In my opinion, proving that they're trying to fix the prices. Why else would those prices be on their routes? That nobody ever tried to charge that, at least at that point.
Yeah, that's really bizarre, man. Like
I
it's like
wish
they.
I had screenshot it. I expected people to be talking about this the next day, and a lot of people, are talking about what a piece of crap launch it was. But no one's talking about those prices that Nvidia had up on their site for about 20 minutes
Hmm.
before they finally got it fixed. It really makes me wish I had taken a screenshot because it was pretty damning evidence, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know. That's just the whole thing was a debacle, and people were pissed. You know what's the weirdest thing about it, Wes? And we'll see. I guess we'll find out once they do something or don't do something about it. But Nvidia said they're looking into the bots, right? The bots. People were saying, Jim was saying he didn't. Last night he's like he didn't know how if he took that credible. I said, man, people had screenshots of like 42 different cards, And they were like, what was weird is people are like, oh, like throwing it out in people's face. Like, you don't do that. Like, oh, look, I did it. You know, hey, da da. You know, and so it's almost like it's planned. Like, get this everybody all riled up, and then these cards come back, and now everybody gets them a chance at them again. Or I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but the whole thing to me seems fishy and weird, very bizarre. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, the only regret that Nvidia has about those bots and scalpers is the fact that people are mad at Nvidia. If it weren't for that, they wouldn't care because those bots and those scalpers play right into what they want, right? I mean, it only creates more scarcity. It only serves to drive the price up, which is exactly what they want. Why wouldn't they want that? So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that their bot protection was lacking because it pays them for it not to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Well, that was a
You
long.
know, it's interesting. I came very, very close to nabbing a card actually, even with
Really?
the as screwed up as everything was, man. You know, I had one in my cart in Best Buy and couldn't check out. I had one in my cart in Newegg and couldn't check out. But later, through a lesser known uh, avenue, I ended up, you know, after about an hour of their website being crashed, I ended up getting one in my cart. Finally, the website came back up. I saw a live cart. I clicked on add to cart as quickly as I could. And after I clicked on add to cart, I noticed that there was another one a little more expensive, a little further down the page. And I thought, well, maybe I should have got that one, you know, because everybody's going to be clicking on the first one. But the website had been down, like I said, for an hour, and it was looked like it was trying to work. So I decided to write it out and see if I could actually get it. And it did go into my cart. Asked me to confirm my shipping information, which I did. Asked me to confirm my payment information, which I did. And when I clicked the final checkout button, it just basically scrolled and scrolled. And after like sitting for 5 minutes, it would give me an error message.
Mm,
So I would repeat this process a few times to no avail. And then I try to back up to the original store page where I put it in my cart, and I made it there. The thing, even after the website crashed and come back up, the thing was still in my cart. So I tried to check out some more, still had the same problem, and then eventually the website crashed again. So I called them. I got on the phone and I called these guys and I said, you know, I've had one of your cards in my shopping cart for an hour and I can't check out. Can you help me? And they apologized to me. They told me that they couldn't take phone orders.
mm.
But they told me that of the two cards, one of them was sold out. So if that's the one that's in my cart, that's probably why I'm not able to check out. And I need to go back and put the other one in my cart, the one I told you that I
Oh
saw.
shit.
And sure enough, I looked, and the one that I had in my cart was the one that was sold out. And the other one was still in stock, but they wouldn't sell it to me. They told me I had to get it on the website. And by the time I finally got the thing to load back up again, it was already sold out.
Mm.
And I mean, that's how close I came, Roots. Had I chosen the second option instead of clicking the first one that I saw, I'm fairly confident that I would have got one despite all of this mess. Came that close to getting one. And, you know, as frustrated as people are, and I totally understand why, um, I'm calm, Roots, and I know I'm going to get one. So I'm not really freaking out like a lot of people are. It might be a month, but I'm eventually going to come across one in stock, and I'm going to be the first one to click on it and get it. So I'm sure many failed attempts are going to be coming up, but eventually we're going to succeed and uh, and get what we need, what we came for.
Yeah, you've been down this road before. The last time you got a video card, except for you were swapping around and doing all sort. I mean, I guess you kind of did that too with selling cards and wheeling and dealing to get everything done. So you'll get your card eventually. It'll be a better one. It'll be the one you want instead of the one that you settled for because it was the one you were able to get in your cart. You know what I mean? But that's crazy. That's timing, man. You know, like I remember I had a similar situation with the Nintendo 64 and ran around town looking for it everywhere. and got to this one retailer, and the guy literally told me, "Oh, I just sold the last one 2 minutes ago." And I wanted to punch him. I'm like, "Dude, don't tell me that. Tell me it's been gone for a month, or hours. I don't tell me that I went to the wrong store, basically, because I'd almost gone to that one first, and I didn't. So I feel
Yeah,
your
man,
pain.
that's how it goes. And this card being as in demand as it is, and the way that all the websites crashed, it was kind of a perfect storm for the scalpers, to be quite honest. Because the people who sold that bot software, um, they came out and said, Nvidia was supposed to launch their cards at 9 a.m. Eastern, but they didn't. They didn't launch them at 9 a.m. Eastern. They didn't release any inventory at that point. They went straight to sold out before they released any. And what these bot guys said is that it wasn't until 2 hours later at 11 a.m. Eastern time before Nvidia actually released their stock, and they didn't notify anybody via email.
Mm.
So it was their bot program that was actually able to pick up on it before anyone else was. And that's the reason why they were able to nab so many of them. By this point, people were frustrated. They'd already quit trying. And again, NVIDIA didn't notify anybody. So it was really only the bots that had a chance at it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So it is a perfect storm, almost like it was lined up that way. Um,
Yeah.
but
Kind
we'll,
of kind of crazy, isn't it?
yeah, it is crazy. Oh,
But here we are, man. Again, we said it last week that in 7 days we're gonna have all the answers, and we've got many, but we also have a lot more questions, don't we? Because with all of these different hardware launches, we've got plenty of game and software news to go over. And Roots, I almost split this episode into two because there's so much to talk about when it comes to VR games. But I think instead, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of blitz it and try to just go down the line here and give our thoughts on as much of this stuff as we can.
yeah, yeah. Especially added in that 38 minutes of hardware talk that wasn't on the docket, right? So,
Well, people, this is what people want to talk about. We pride ourselves on being a gaming focused show. We like to talk about the games, but occasionally these events come, right, where we get new hardware and the new generation comes, and people want to talk a little bit about it and want to know what our experiences were with the craziness that took place last week. And believe me, I could go on another hour about the craziness that I had just trying to order that graphics card alone. But at the end of the day, that's what the Discord's for, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. And I'm just glad that I got a good night's sleep that night. That was one of the best decisions I made, was to not go for the 3080 right off the bat, because I felt bad for people like you who'd been up all night and didn't get shit for it. That sucks.
Literally didn't sleep. Stayed up all night clicking refresh at the top of every hour.
That's crazy.
Paradise Decay says, "Who's buying all these cards with bots? Bit miners? No, scalpers, dude. Professional technology scalpers. These bots are able to actually um, get these high demand tech items just as they go on sale by skipping steps that regular consumers have to go through to check out. Like it'll put them, it'll automatically cart the item and put them through to the checkout page without having to click through all the links that we have to do. And it's a paid service. The bot itself, I forget what the name of it is, but it's a paid service that's invitation only. People apply to get accepted into it, and they pay like a fee like $75 every so often to get access to these bot programs. And like Roots said, people are buying 10, 20, 30, 40 of these items. And the only people who can afford to buy that many are professional scalpers. The good thing about it is, though, Roots, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but when the scalpers are taking their cards to eBay, people are putting counter bots on there now to counter that by artificially bidding up the price to astronomical levels that no one would ever pay. And then at the end, when the auction goes off, nobody pays for it, right? So you can go on to eBay right now, and you're going to see all of these cards that are going for 30, 40, $50,000, they're not really going for that. These are bots that are artificially driving the price up so that these scalpers can't rip everybody off.
Yeah, it definitely made it more difficult for sure. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, but there is an absolute sea of fake uh, 3080 listings on there. And if you read the description, they'll tell you, hey, this is not a graphics card. This is a drawing of a graphics card or something to that effect. And it'll say stuff like, if you're stupid enough to buy this, I'm not giving your money back. You shouldn't be supporting these scalpers in the first place.
Mm.
So, it's hilarious. It's hard to actually find a real card on eBay, and if you do find one, generally the price has been artificially bid up so that you can't buy it anyway.
Wow. Yeah, what a debacle, but it'll be interesting to see where it goes, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of bot protection these retailers and Nvidia themselves employ because, you know, we've all signed up for the notification emails. They could make these storefronts by invite only, right? People who signed up for these emails get a link. That link is your key to get in to buy one of these things. And if they did that and put a captcha on the checkout, it would go a long way to stopping these people.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't they do that? A CAPTCHA. You know, they have it on every other fucking thing that I'm doing. I can't log into anything without turning something or looking, telling if it's a street sign or whatever, right?
Right. Right. Name click on the pictures with the bus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
as
exactly.
good as all the AI, as smart as all the AI is supposed to be, Roots, apparently it doesn't know what a bus is.
Well, there's humans like that too, but let's not be rude.
Anyway, Roots, like we said a moment ago, we have a laundry list of VR games to talk about. So why don't we get to it? First of all, I want to start by saying hi to everyone that's filling out the chat. Roots Frank is here, and I want to go ahead and thank Frank. Frank actually, he's been asking me if I've ever played Kobold Chapter One. He knows I like horror, VR horror, and he's been asking me if I've played it, and I said no. So he just bought me a copy of it
Oh,
last week. So
wow.
big thanks to Frank. Um, hard to get is in the house. Factory Life. Some guy named Ruuts, Les Marswick, the Ruham, Matty Matt 2323, Corporate Zombie, PD, Mepper, Bitey, Soren B, Roots. Everybody's here. Let's get to it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so a lot of people were surprised, and I think the biggest surprise for people on the gaming front coming out of this week and coming out of the Facebook event was the announcement of Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell VR. Roots, people were shocked by this announcement, unless the people watched the Monday show where we talked about this very thing being a very distinct possibility. We told people, Roots, not to get so upset because AGOS, a game of space, might not be the only VR game that Ubisoft's been working on. And lo and behold, Facebook Connect comes, and we find out that that is exactly the case. Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell, it's real, Roots. It's real. It's damn real.
It's finally here, and what's funny, we've been talking about this for a while. And as I was pulling this footage for both of these, I literally I was just finding video after video for 2 years. They've been talking about this rumor, right? And people were asking, "Where is Splinter Cell? What happened to Splinter Cell? What happened to Assassin's Creed?" Now we know what happened to Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell. They've been working on them for the last couple of years, putting them in VR, and I would almost imagine. I didn't hear the news. This is VR only, right? There are a lot of pissed off people probably that are supporters of this.
Yeah, it was during the Facebook Connect 7. Elizabeth Laverso, the vice president of product development at Ubisoft's Red Storm Entertainment, joined the conference to confirm that the games are in fact in the works and are going to be all new entries into each series built from the ground up exclusively for VR. And of course, Red Storm is leading the development, but they're also collaborating with Ubisoft Reflections, Ubisoft Dusseldorf, and Ubisoft Mumbai. Roots details such as the release dates and specifically which headset the games are in the works for is currently unconfirmed. But I think we both know which headset these games are going to be released for. And it's interesting, Roots. When we first heard about these games, a year, 2 years ago, whenever the rumor came out, uh, kind of everybody's biggest worry was that they would be Quest games. But the interesting thing is that here we're finally getting this announcement. But today, these being Quest exclusive doesn't mean what it used to, does it?
Mm-mm.
Because now with the new Quest and all the new capability, uh, I mean, is that such a bad thing if this is Quest exclusive?
No, no. I mean, does Quest exclusive mean it's got to be wireless? I mean, does that you can't use the link? I mean, that's the thing too. I don't know how those work, right? Like, can
So
you?
you're right. This very well could be what I said earlier. I expect the the norm to be going forward for Facebook. I think uh, most of the exclusives that they fund are going to be what we today call cross buy, but what we're tomorrow are going to be calling link enhanced. I think that that's probably going to be the case with both of these games. I think they're going to launch on the Oculus Quest 2 platform, but we're absolutely going to see a link enhanced version of both of them.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I haven't really not played too much of either one of these series, which I know is probably making people crazy. But somebody just said that I guess Swift Saint Deadly, is that what it is? If Splinter Cell has Sam in it and is VR only, people are going to be pissed. So I don't know. I guess Sam is a big character in Splinter Cell.
Yeah, people are going to be pissed, dude. But I don't think they're going to be as pissed today as they were a year ago. A lot of these people have bought headsets, and now that this Quest 2 is coming out for 299, I got to imagine a lot more of them are going to. VR isn't the dirty word that it used to be anymore. Roots used to people were mad when stuff like this would get announced for VR because VR at the time was so unattainable. You had to have a very beefy computer, and then the headsets were expensive on top of that. But it's not the case anymore. You can run Link on a fairly modest PC. In the Quest 2 uh, doesn't even really even need a PC, and you can get one, the base version, of course, you can get for $300. That's as cheap as the budget variant of the new Xbox Roots. People are drooling over the new Xbox because it's so cheap at $300. Well, here is all-in-one VR with state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line processor in it for $300. It's crazy. So while sure there's going to be some pushback from the people who haven't made the jump into VR yet, I don't think it's going to be as much as it would have been, say, a year ago.
Yeah, I agree. Maddie Matt says Red Storm made Werewolves Within and Star Trek Bridge Crew, so they've got experience in VR as well.
Yeah, Ubisoft becoming pretty much the AAA champion of VR. I mean, other studios uh, have certainly contributed, but Ubisoft becoming the go-to, right? The elder statesman, if you will, of AAA VR.
Yeah, exciting time, right?
It is, and it just keeps getting better. Not the only AAA games that we got news on, not even by a long shot, Roots. We got some pretty big news about Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. First of all, we got the launch date, Roots. Uh, for those of you worried that this game might be falling into the next year, never fear. December 11th, Roots. So just before uh, the season of love uh, comes and grips us all, we're going to be murdering Nazis left and right with uh, very visceral experience in VR.
Who doesn't want to murder Nazis, right? What is it considered murder though? I think it's like doing a service.
Well, I don't know. I guess that's a question for God.
Yeah, that's true. I guess God does have the final say.
I
Um,
guess it technically isn't murder though because it's VR, right?
yeah, that's true, and that's one of the benefits of being able to shoot and throw knives. Now, my question is, am I going to be able to throw that knife better than I was able to into the radius?
I hope so,
I
man.
hope
I
so
really
too.
do.
Yeah, no, this looks good. I
I
was I was watching this, rewatching this trailer again, and I'm psyched again. And we're so close now, Wes. A couple months, and you're going to be reverbing the hell out of this game.
Yeah, assuming that I keep my reverb. Now, I did decide to keep my pre-order. I
Mm,
am going to let the thing ship, and I'm going to get it here, get it in my hands, and compare it
yeah,
to the Quest 2. But there's no guarantee that I keep it because let me tell you, if the Quest 2 is only this much underneath the G2 experience, I'm not going to sit and eat that $600 just for a little bit better. It's the same reason I didn't get a an index. I knew it would be better than the Rift S, but I didn't think it was $600 better. And we're going to very much be evaluating this. And I'm going to let you all know, those of you that are holding out to get reviews, we're generally not a hardware channel, but we're going to do some content on this, and I'm going to let you all know the truth, just how close these two are. Am I keeping it? Am I selling it? What are the similarities and what are the differences? Roots, I'm even thinking about doing VR, 3D VR unboxing videos for all this stuff I've got ordered.
yeah. I think you should, dude, because I like even I'm your co-host, and I want to see what Wes has to say about these things. Because I know you're going to put things through the paces. It'd be the equivalent of watching Mamefan do the same thing. Um, because I respect your guys' opinion on it, and you're going to really put it through and let everybody know exactly what your thoughts are.
Yeah, Mamefan already did a good video explaining the Quest 2 and all of the accessories that are available for it and some of the games that are coming up for it. And yeah, I'd be on the lookout for more from him because, as usual, he's going to be highly critical of it. And if there's anything wrong with it at all, you can expect him to point it out fairly quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
But anyway, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, once an Oculus exclusive, this game will now be launching on Steam VR as well. Publisher Facebook has confirmed.
Wow.
Appearing on Steam VR will mean that owners of headsets like the HTC Vive, the Valve Index, and the upcoming HP Reverb G2 will get to play the game natively as well. With the launch of the juiced up Oculus Quest 2, the decision has been made to discontinue the Oculus Rift product line. But with some Rift exclusives like Medal of Honor still in development, you can see why the company is opening up the game to more platforms. So here we have Roots, a game fully funded and published by Facebook, being being published and sold on the Steam storefront on day one. Cats and dogs living together,
Mhm.
mass hysteria. Roots. When did you ever think you'd see the day that Oculus launches a title, an exclusive, on Steam, therefore making it not an exclusive?
No, I never thought I'd see that day, and I really never thought I would see Oculus or Facebook slit Rift S throat in the same sentence. So we're killing the Rift line, and this is what we're giving it to Steam VR. It just solidifies that they are indeed getting rid of. They're just the exclusivity as far as that goes, and I don't know if it's going to pertain to any of these other games as well. Who knows? Maybe Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed also go to Steam. That sounds crazy now, but this going to Steam sounded crazy a month ago. So
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance in hell that that's going to happen because I think that those launches are. I mean, they don't pay for games like that just to give them away. I don't think that they're really looking at Steam as a big competitor anymore, to be quite honest. I think that, like we said, they're killing off the Rift S, right? I mean, and while they're still going to offer link enhanced games, cross buy games, I don't think that they really see Steam as their big competitor anymore. I think they see Apple and Sony as their competitors. So yeah, I think that it makes sense for them to play nice with Steam. And I forgot I was going to say something else about the Rift S, but I lost my train of thought. That's what comes with
Being tired.
uh, being tired, I guess.
I miss the Rift S already, Wes, and I have it right over there. Although I am excited. See, I'm going to be doing the same thing you're doing uh, internally for me, just as except for with the Rift S versus the Quest 2, is whether I keep it or not. Because I don't need two headsets, and they both play Oculus games natively. I'm not worried about getting the premium dollar out of the Rift S, but if I get the Quest 2 in and I like it better than the Rift S, and it's, I'll just sell the Rift S for like 250, $300 or whatever the going price is for it. I know someone will buy it, and I'll put it towards something else, but I want to find out which one's better or not, because I'm not 100% sure that the trade-offs will be worth it. I'm pretty sure it will be, but I'm not 100%. So
Well, I'm fairly certain that the right off the bat, the resolution bump is going to grab you. Now, with that said, if your experience is anything like mine was with the initial Quest, um, you're going to grow more and more fond of it over time, because not only is the platform going to improve from a software and hardware basis. The capability of the device is going to grow. It's going to grow into 90 hertz instead of launching with it. It's going to get new features. The hand tracking is going to get better. The exclusive content is going to get better. All of that's going to get better over time. But in addition to that, um, it takes a little bit of time before you really start to appreciate being wireless. And um, there's a lot to be said. You don't realize just what a burden it is to get up and plug your headset in and put it on until you don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just grab it and play. And after having it for a month or two, uh, all of the sudden the prospects of not being able to do that anymore aren't going to seem so cool. So I'm pretty confident, even though again it's not going to be the most comfortable thing you ever wore. I think it's going to be a good experience overall, and I'm really interested to see what you think about tetherless VR,
yeah,
because it is an entirely different thing, having that kind of freedom.
yeah, I've never experienced it, so I'm kind of psyched to check that part of it out. I want to do this, I want to be able to just be able to hand track the hell out of stuff, but I think I'm going to end up liking it better than the Rift S in so many ways, and I think the tracking is going to be so similar, but only time will tell. But I am excited to try, check it out.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to see what you think and check it out myself. But as for these exclusives coming to Steam VR, I don't think we'll see the Ubisoft games go that route. I think that it's a possibility that we could see Lone Echo 2 go that route. When asked to comment on it by Upload VR, Oculus basically just said that they were going to take it on a case by case basis. But I think it's likely we could see some classic Oculus exclusives, Oculus Rift exclusives, make their way over to the Steam store.
Mm.
And again, I think that it's possible even that we could see Lone Echo 2 make its way to the Steam store.
Well, that'd be cool, right?
Yeah, it'd be great. It would certainly solve my dilemma, because it's interesting, Roots. The paradigm changes so quickly. Uh, you know, one day I'm wondering, do I buy the Oculus version? Do I buy the Steam version? Then all of a sudden I have clarity because I'm getting G2. Obviously, I need to buy the Steam version.
Mm.
And now here we are again. Now I've got a new Oculus headset and a Steam headset, and I'm right back where I started, not knowing where to buy these games at. Should I buy them on this store or that one?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to cross buy. If it doesn't have cross buy, it's going to be a no brainer Steam if you end up keeping the G2. Because I'm starting to have that question too. Because Facebook, even though I'm getting the the Quest 2, and I got the Rift S, and my go-to outside of family share was always I want to have it native for Oculus, but I'm not 100% um, believing that I'm going to always own a Oculus headset. You know, if something comes out, or I should say Facebook at this point, you know, something comes out better, I want to almost run the fuck away from Facebook with any headset I can that's better. I want to, you know what I mean? Like Facebook is weird, and we're not seeing it yet, but part of me wants to get the hell away from them. So outside of the exclusive, so that's my conundrum. I have to have I don't want to run Revive, Wes. I know people deal with it, and it runs great most of the time. It's one extra thing to worry about. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not as good as the native. I just don't want to have to use Revive if I don't have to.
Yeah, I've never used it, but I got to imagine it can't be one-to-one with terms in terms of your PC overhead, your resources. It has to be a little bit more resource hungry because it's not optimized by Oculus. So
it's just one more
yeah.
friction thing. I don't, friction's a real thing, and I'm kind of starting to get the feeling, because I don't end up playing a lot of VR games lately, Wes, and it's not just because of flat gaming. It's because I'm getting back to the point where I I don't know what to play, and I get in this limbo where I'm like stuck. I get frozen, and I used to have an analogy with cable when I had cable. You could look at your guide, and you could see an episode of whatever your favorite show is and read the description, and you'd say, I've seen that one before, so you wouldn't play it, right, or watch it. But you could be flipping through the channels and come across that show, and you'll end up watching it because you're there. And so I just need to just get into it, like I don't know, I need to do something different. So
I think that the Oculus Quest 2 is going to serve you well in this aspect because it reduces that friction. And basically, I know exactly what you're talking about. This idea of not knowing what to play, and it's not that we don't have tons of stuff that we want to play. It's just that stuff doesn't come to mind when you're not at your computer. So you got to find a way to get yourself inside the headset so that you can look at your library, and then all of a sudden it's easy to you can see 20 things you want to play. Um, so I think that the Oculus Quest is going to serve you well in this aspect because there is no friction. You just grab it and put it on. It doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. You just reach over, you put the thing on, and you play. And it's nice, Bruce. It's nice not to have to mess with anything. No USB problems, no rebooting, none of that crap, man. The most you have to do is redraw your boundary every now and then, and that's it.
I don't even use the boundary. I just skip that shit. I probably will with the Quest though. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, definitely, because it's easy to get lost, especially when you're not tied down.
Yeah.
But anyway, another title, Roots. This one, Back from the Dead. Population One. A lot of people have been asking about Population One lately and where it went. Well, now we're learning where it went because even though it's been a while since Big Box VR have released any proper details about its virtual reality battle royale game, Population One, it did participate in Facebook Connect this week and has joined a roster of titles coming to headsets in the latter half of 2020. For those of you who don't know, Population One is a pure multiplayer experience supporting 6 squads of 3 players, up to 18 players per match. Players are given complete freedom to traverse the landscape however they wish, running between cover, climbing any building for a better viewpoint, and also having the ability to fly. Players will enter the map via a drop pod, after which they'll have to scramble to find decent weapons to avoid getting slaughtered. Survive long enough, and they'll be able to acquire resources to build structures such as walls and platforms to aid in their defense. So here we go, Roots. This is basically your classic Fortnite style battle royale game, but it seems a little bit more grown up to me Fortnite. It doesn't have that goofy factor. And to be quite honest, as nice as this game looked back in the day, I never quite have been very excited to play it until now. I think that this footage in this trailer here looks phenomenal, and the climbing and flying aspect to it while you're fighting, it puts me in the mind of a lot of the things I like about Stormland, and I think this thing looks really good, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play on the new headset.
I know it's funny. I had the same thought about this game. After like when it first came out, it just because it didn't look the best and it seemed a little hokey. Because anything that you're trying to chase the dragon, you're trying to put out this Fortnite type of game, right? And Fortnite is one of the biggest games that's been around, and it started to decline a little bit, but still very popular. But looking at this footage, like you said, it looks so much better. And not only that, but I keep hearing from people how good it is. People I respect, like this is a Phil Yarn special, man. He'll tell you all day how good this thing. He's been in the beta for a long time, right? And then people that have signed the NDA that they won't say exactly what, they just say that they're enjoying it and they're hyped for it. And so I really do believe this is going to be bigger than we think. And we don't really have too many battle royale games in VR, none that are really that good. So I have Standout, it's okay, but I think this is going to be next level, and I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, dude, the climbing and jumping and flying mechanics of this thing, it just looks so much fun. And the game obviously much closer to release now, and it shows. It's way more polished than the old footage we saw of it, and supposedly coming this year. And we always kind of speculated that it may be the Oculus Quest, it may be what's holding it up. We had no idea that it was actually going to be the Quest 2,
Mm.
and I think that's exciting. I'm excited to see what this new standalone is going to be able to do, Roots. Obviously it's not going to be able to stand up to the visual fidelity of a PCVR game, but I think it's going to be a big improvement over the original Quest, which was an amazing device in its own right.
Well, especially look what they were able to do once all the devs were able to optimize on the first one. They're going to do the same thing for the second. It's going to just be, you probably won't. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal once you get down that road of games. And I think I was just thinking how many developers out there got fucked. Like they were ready to go. The game is ready. We're ready to release. And then they hear from Oculus, oh, hey, here's a kit for Oculus Quest 2. And they're like, shit. And so now they got to go back to the drawing board, but they can't say anything, so they can't say why they're delayed. So they're kind of like they're standing there with their dick in the wind and just, you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, we can't do it, but it's going to benefit them because there's so many more people will have access to to their game with the better software or hardware. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Population One launching fall 2020, featuring crossplay for Oculus Quest, Rift, Vive, WMR, and Valve Index. Roots crossplay absolutely crucial to a VR multiplayer only game at this stage of the game, right?
yeah, dude, the only thing I would want to hear is PlayStation VR as well, but I don't even know that this is confirmed for that at all. So, but yeah, no, I definitely, the more people, the better. And it's good that they're announcing right off the bat. This is weird. I guess that I think more developers should be more upfront with which platforms it's going to be on, which headsets. We all assume, okay, it's going to be on every one of them, but every time people freak out if it's not, all of a sudden it doesn't play on Index or whatever. Just take a note from that book. Just let people know, hey, right now it doesn't support Index. We're working on it. When people discover that after they've paid the money for it, kind of pisses them off a little bit. So
Oh yeah, for sure. But again, people shouldn't assume. Most of the time, uh, developers are pretty clear about which headsets they're supporting. They don't. I don't think that they should really have to explicitly say which ones they don't support. Most of the time they'll say, Rift and Vive, and people just assume that the index is going to work. But what people have to realize is the control scheme on Index is a radically different thing, and it's an expensive piece of hardware. And a lot of these indie devs, they don't have a whole bunch
Right.
of money, you know.
That's true.
Uh, so I get it, and obviously I wouldn't condone anyone not being clear about which headsets they support. But I think a lot of this, people being upset is just entitlement. To be quite honest, they feel like their thing should. It's the best, so why isn't it supported?
Yeah,
You
but
know?
it's just knowing that in 2020 the reality is it's a knee jerk reaction society. So it's kind of like when they preface things, and there's certain things in VR that they don't want to they want to temper expectations because they know how people freak out. Same thing, just saying, hey, look, this is our intention. We don't have a kit or whatever. That last release, I can't remember what game. Oh, Jupiter God.
Oh
Amazing game.
yeah.
People freaked out. I mean, and it got fixed. It took a week or two, like it always does. But yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
and by the way, uh, I guess it was about a week ago. The developer via our Discord put it out there that the index support has now been pushed to all storefronts. So whether you're playing on Steam or you're playing on Viveport, your index will work now. So feel free to get in there and check it out.
Man, if you haven't tried it, definitely one of my favorite games of the year. It's really good.
Absolutely, absolutely a fun, great game. Um, missing missing my PCVR access routes. I'm a week without it now almost. Again, for the second time after selling my Quest the day that the Quest 2 launched. I'm again PSVR exclusive for a while. And here's the kicker: there are some very, very good games getting ready to launch, and if I want to play Roots, I'm going to have to play them on PlayStation VR.
Oh wow, it's crazy. Well, it'll be good. I don't know. What I'm finding myself is when I go back into VR, because I haven't been doing it as much, it pops more. You know what I mean? It's like it's like, oh shit, I forgot how cool this is. So I think it's kind of good to take some breaks, even if it's a day or something in between sometimes. So
Yeah, well, I've taken a break this week, just because I've been so busy with other things, trying to, quick refresh on my screen to get a graphics card, and all of the announcements, and plus, last couple of days I've been very busy reading up on all these games and preparing notes for this program that we're doing right now. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to play this week, but I am still playing VR. I did go into my PlayStation a couple times this week and uh, play some stuff that I haven't played yet. So like I said, I've got a lot of games in there that I've never even tried. So we'll get to that on the Monday show. I guess this would be a good time to go ahead and note for you all that the Monday show is kind of in flux right now. We don't know if we're going to have a show tomorrow because my work schedule is kind of up in the air. But the good news is, a few days ago, I would have told you that we were canceling the Monday show this week. I don't think we're going to have to cancel it now. I think if we are unable to go tomorrow, that we'll be able to do a show on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's all good, Roots. We're going to be talking about what we've been playing as always, and I think we're going to talk a lot more about this Facebook and people's concerns that seem to be aplenty right now.
yeah, there's a lot of concerns out there.
Yep, absolutely. One thing people aren't concerned about when it comes to Facebook's, it's their exclusives. And we learned this past week of another exclusive game, this time exclusive to the Oculus Quest platform. And I'm talking about the Climb 2. The Climb, the original Climb, also an Oculus exclusive, and is well known for being one of the more visually stunning games in VR. The interesting thing about this one, Roots, is even though the footage is all rendered on a PC, this title is said to be a Quest exclusive. So, what do you think? Are they calling this a Quest exclusive because it's the Rift platform is now the Link platform, or is this really going to be a Quest exclusive?
I think it's the first one there. I think even at the end it says something only on the Oculus Quest platform, but I thought it said something at the end that kind of infers that it could be something else, but I can't remember. But I can't see them excluding. Why would they show PC footage if it's not on PC at some point? You know what I mean? I think it's because of the headset.
No, well, in fairness, most games are developed on PC, whether they be console games, standalone games, VR games, flat games. When they start making these games, they make them first on PC and then kind of port them over to whatever device that they're going to run on natively.
Yeah,
So I
but
kind of get it with the game being in development, why the footage would be coming from a PC.
yeah, but why wouldn't you showcase how good it looks on the Oculus Quest 2? This is the graphics. This is Quest 2 graphics.
Well, maybe they are, dude. Maybe they're emulating, and they expect it to look a lot like this.
Hmm. Maybe my guess is it'll come out to PC eventually, but maybe not. I mean, at some point, and we're starting to get to that point pretty soon here. They're going to want to draw you into the headset, and they're going to say, "Look, man, this is the only way." I mean, every other console has exclusives, right? Well, except for Xbox. Go to PC, but PlayStation, you're not gonna, you can't just play it on something else. It has to be on that console. So I would imagine there's going to be games that they're going to make you get the headset.
So, what do you think about this, Roots? This is, of course, from Crytek, the developer behind 2016's The Climb, and is slated to arrive on Oculus Quest this holiday season. This first person climbing game is said to let you explore a, quote, new city setting and exhilarating new maps with breathtaking views. And the quote here from the game description says, ascend grand peaks, navigate vast caves, climb skyscrapers, and discover hidden shortcuts as you find your path to the top. Compete with friends and conquer leaderboards in asynchronous multiplayer modes. From exploring mountain environments to scaling urban settings, feel the rush of climbing without ropes and experience breathtaking vistas as you scale new heights. So, location, 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 Roots. That seems to be the message this time around. And they're going to be giving us a lot more varied approach when it comes to the list of locations that we're going to be climbing our way through.
I think it'd be kind of cool because I think it'd be a little bit more scary to be climbing a skyscraper for whatever reason, just because that's just different, and looking at the city or whatever.
You know what'd be funny
Hmm.
is if you climb the skyscraper as you kind of got toward the top, all of a sudden you find yourself grabbing onto a board, and it turns out to be Richie's plank.
Somebody's up there walking. Yeah, no, that would be funny actually. But what's funny is I don't know how excited I am about this game. Not that that it's not going to be a good game and I won't play it at some point. I just I feel like it's basic, but I mean it's all about the view and the vistas and stuff. But maybe I just didn't care for the first one as much as everybody else did. I did enjoy it, but I'm just not. I guess I'm just not really psyched for it. I don't know.
I kind of am, and I wouldn't be if it were just a normal release. But my hype for this product is more. It's just as much hardware hype as software hype. Uh, if we didn't have the new headset, then sure I would be excited to check it out. But the fact that we have this new headset with this new tech in it makes me want a game like this to push it so that I can see what it's capable of. So I'm excited about it, but it really it's just as much Quest 2 hype as it is Climb 2 hype.
Yeah, I'm starting to get over the whole. I don't know. For me, anyway, having to go into every game and look at how good it looks on a new system, and maybe it's because I haven't had a new headset for a bit, but I don't know if that would just do it enough for me as far as. But I think it's going to look amazing. and I'll probably get into it and completely eat my words, but I just the thought of just climbing around just seems, basic to me. But I don't know. I don't even know where this negativity on this game came from. It's just oozing
I
out of
don't
me,
know.
Wes.
I've had you question my soul when I hadn't
Oh,
played the first one, so
oh yeah.
this is a bit shocking.
Well, I better play it then. I don't want you to question my soul.
What the questioning your soul, Roots? What
Uh,
happened to you,
I
bro?
don't know. I think it was the debacle with the 3080s that just tore me up a little inside.
Greg's VR said something that I've actually absolutely had the same thought before. He says, climb to the top and then perhaps base jump from there. See, I've always thought that would be a great idea for like a multiplayer experience. Like everybody plays like the climb together, and then after we play the climb, we jump into rush and then jump. Right?
Yeah, dude, that would be a good mix of the game, right? You climb up and then jump.
Yeah, it'd be yeah. I think it's like a natural fit together, and they should collaborate or they should. I mean, maybe not collaborate. Just maybe the rush should incorporate some climbing into their game so that they can have a little bit more of a varied experience. It's not just about the base jumping, it's about the journey up as well as the journey down.
Yeah, it'd be double game, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And, it's already a great multiplayer experience as it is.
Yeah, I'm sure the devs out there are going to get right on it, or either that or they're going to say, fuck you, our game's already good enough, and we're keeping it the way it is.
Anyway, the Climb 2 is exclusive to Oculus Quest and Quest 2, with the trailer saying, quote, only on the Oculus Quest platform at the end in small print. So, coming later this year, Oculus Quest only. The bad news is you must have this headset to play the game. The good news is it don't cost much money. So,
Yeah.
it's readily available. Anyway, more news coming out of Facebook Connect 7 as The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Now, we told you guys on Monday to expect something from The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and lo and behold, here they are reporting that their title not only is ready to launch on the original Oculus Quest, but this game is going to be an Oculus Quest 2 launch title. Aside from the main campaign, the Oculus Quest version is also going to include the recently released Meat Grinder update. Upload VR was able to play an early demo of the Quest version, and much like the PlayStation VR version before it, Skydance Interactive has done an exceptional job porting this game into a new platform. However, the real story here comes from comparing the two Quest versions of the game. While the two versions do offer up a very similar experience, the Quest 2 version does display enhancements that are not present on the original Quest versions. Heavier foliage and a more populated player area come along with the expected bump in performance. Roots, what this does is it proves that developers are going to be able to provide enhanced versions of Quest 2 titles if they choose to support games in this way. So basically, what we're expecting to see here is a similar dynamic to that of PlayStation VR games on the PSVR Pro versus the OG. So people were wondering this, Roots, if the Quest games were going to be any different whatsoever, other than the resolution bump that comes with the new headset. And here we have our first proof positive, in fact, that developers are going to be able to use that extra horsepower however they want. And if that means patching up this game and making it better, then they're going to be able to do that. And I think that that's a very good sign, and it's very exciting for the future of this platform.
Yeah, it makes sense because when they go from the PC to the Quest, what are the first things they have to do to get it to run is start eliminating assets, right? And just start minimizing. And when you get more power, what is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to, as a developer, you're going to want to put it back in there. Like, people forget this is these are artists, man. They're not just creating a game. This is artwork, and they're very proud of of their game, whatever developer, and they're gonna want the best version out there. Yeah, are there lazy devs? Absolutely, but I think it's a good sign as well, and it makes me excited to see. That's the kind of thing I want to see the difference of, is like how good are these games going to be, and it's exciting. I think I don't know why that guy on the right, they had his head chopped off. That's a different stark between the two scenes. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I think it's cool, man. And somebody in the comments said something that really resonated, and said something to you, and I've been thinking this as well. And they said it as a joke, hard to get, Quest Pro, laughing. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel like the Quest it's not really a Quest 2, it's more of a Quest Pro, because it's just the differences. It's like everything that you would expect from a pro version, a little bit better hardware, or actually, I guess in this instance, a lot
Yeah,
better.
it's a lot better.
It's a lot
It's a
better.
lot better.
It is a significant jump, but I still consider it more of a pro than a sequel. But that's just my thought anyway.
Yeah, normally I would agree with you, but the CPU GPU in this thing is literally 3 or 4 generations ahead of the one that was in the old one. So this is a legit,
Oh, it's
you know,
definitely a legit upgrade, but everything stayed the
yeah.
same though. Everything else is, I mean, it's mostly the same. You know what I mean? Aside from that hardware, the controller changed a little bit. The tracking's the same. The software is mostly the same. Um,
Well, of course, but I mean, it's the same is true of like PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. It's still a console with a very similar controller in your hand, but the capability of the machine is vastly different.
yeah.
And I think that's going to be the case here as well.
Oh, I definitely think it'll be a difference, but that's just my thought anyway. I still consider it more of a pro, but it's a very advanced pro.
No, I think a pro is kind of what I was expecting this
Mm.
to be. That's why I was so shocked. Not only that it's such a leap in performance, but that it was cheaper than the
Yeah,
original. I mean, that's mind blowing.
yeah, that makes no sense marketing wise, except for the fact of cheaper products and wanting to get them into. I guarantee they're eating some of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're not making any money on the hardware. It's not about that. It's about getting people into their ecosystem.
Yeah,
It's a smart investment of their money. All of this, I mean, if they're going to invest all these multiple millions of dollars into making games, trying to draw people in, why not try to draw people in by subsidizing a state of the art device? You know what I mean? That makes more sense. So I
yeah,
think it's going to work.
I think so too.
Now, as we can see here, these developers at Skydance Interactive never cease to amaze me. They did such a great job porting this game over to PlayStation VR, and while it's not quite on the visual level of the PC version, it's a very comparable experience. Now, obviously, the OG Quest version that we're looking at here, not a one-to-one uh, comparison, even with the PlayStation version. But the fact that they've got this thing running at all on that Snapdragon 835, Roots, how in the hell, what kind of witchcraft are these people doing to get this thing to run? I mean, look at it, dude. I mean, it's obviously they're using a lot of foveated rendering and some low res textures here, but still, dude, this is physics based gameplay. It's not just basic, you know, indie jank. This is pretty taxing stuff, and it's running pretty good on the Quest. It just blows my mind how good these people are.
Yeah, and it just makes me excited to see what devs are going to be able to do with this Quest 2 once they've had it in their hands for 6 months or a year, and they're really good at optimizing everything on it. Because, like you said, it's amazing what they can do with the Quest 1. I'm excited to see how they can push the Quest 2 later in its cycle.
Yeah, man. Oculus Quest, PSVR. This is just proof positive of what a good development team that's funded and has time to work, what they're capable of. Um, if we had teams like this fully dedicated to optimizing to get the most out of a high-end gaming PC, I mean, these games would be on a different level of anything we've ever seen before. Because like I said, Oculus Quest. Every time I play one of these games in Quest, it blows my mind that it's even working at all. And then, we talk about PlayStation a lot, and how it really shouldn't be able to do what it does. And that very much has been reiterated to me this last week, playing some of the games that I've been playing, and we'll get into that on the Monday show. But these devices, conventional wisdom would tell you that they shouldn't do what they are doing, but we're experiencing it. We're seeing it with our own eyes, so we know it's a real deal.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better. So
Absolutely. Anyway, The Walking Dead touches down on the standalone headset on October the 13th, which happens to be the exact same day that Facebook is launching the Oculus Quest
hmm.
2. So, pretty cool, Roots. Uh, at that point in time, we will have been playing Onslaught for a couple of weeks, and we're going to get pulled right back into Saints and Sinners, which I don't think is such a bad thing at all.
Now, is this cross-buy or no?
I'm not sure if this is going to be cross-buy, to be quite honest. I was kind of hoping that Tiffany would be in the chat today so I could ask her that question, but I don't know. I don't know if it is cross-buy.
No, I definitely want to check this out on the Quest and 2 as well, just to let people know how good it is. Really, right? I don't own it on the
Yeah.
Steam, so it wouldn't matter if it was cross-buy anyway.
Yeah, and there's a lot of there's actually a few of these games now that before I didn't really see myself rebuying them just to get them on Quest. But like I was speaking a moment ago about my excitement for the Climb 2 is half of it's just excitement for the hardware.
Mm.
I think that this hardware, I'm so excited to see what it can do. I think I am going to end up buying rebuying some games that I already have. Um, this probably being one of them. If we can't get review keys, we've got review keys for the PC launch as well as the PlayStation VR launch. We could very well get review keys for the Quest launch as well.
Yeah.
But like I think I'm going to buy Red Matter Roots. To be quite honest, I never finished that game. I really enjoyed it, and people were already drooling over the OG Quest version of it. I can only imagine what it's going to look like on the new Quest.
Yeah, that was such a good game, puzzle game, right?
Yeah, yeah, awesome game. Anyway, we're gonna move on here. Trying to run down the list here, Roots, because we're quickly coming up against the roundtable episode. Uh, we might have to. I don't know, dude. Do we just keep going with it, or do we cut it short and do a part two on Monday as a Monday show?
Well, we could. I guess we could. Depending on what we got, we could just add kind of like we did with the last week, and just move whatever doesn't get done over to the Monday show, as part of a segment. So
Yeah, I think we may end up having enough left to do a whole damn another episode. Honestly. There's so much stuff to talk about. But let's move on here. We got some new footage and some new information about Star Wars from the Galaxy's Edge. Of course, this is the upcoming title from ILMX Lab, the same development company that brought us Star Wars Vader Immortal. So, following the first trailer earlier this week, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge details have now arrived. The information comes by way of a StarWars.com interview with game director Jose Perez III. Essentially, players will be listening to stories from an old barkeep named Cslack. But as he begins to talk to you, you'll be transported inside the plot for yourself. So basically, the way this is going to work is you're going to be hanging out in this cantina, Roots, and you're going to be able to mess around, and there's going to be lots of stuff for the players just do in this overworld hub. But when you're ready to get down to it and get down to business, you're going to go up to the bar and pull up a seat, and the bartender's going to start talking to you and telling some stories, and as he's telling you these stories, you're going to kind of just get whisked away
Mm.
into the stories. And it's kind of a cool format because it's going to allow us to take place in stories from all different time periods in the Star Wars universe. And it's going to also allow us the ability to come face to face with some of the more iconic characters that we've grown up watching.
That's cool, man. Well, I really enjoyed that approach from the what was that gun bulletproof or what was that one with the old guy telling the story to his kid, the grandkid or whatever.
Guns and Stories Bulletproof.
Yeah, so and it was kind of the same way. It was like you were with the grandpa and he's telling the story, and then you get whisked away into the story, and now you're in there doing stuff. This seems even more elaborate. And it's kind of like what we've said before, how you want to be a part of the story. You want to have a story game type of thing. And this looks like it's got more action, more guns, more shooting, more of everything. And who doesn't want to walk around and talk to C-3PO and have him be your sidekick, right? Hopefully he's talking smack to R2-D2 and slapping him around a little bit, because he didn't do enough of that in Star Wars, in my opinion. So
Yeah. C3PO and R2D2 confirmed for this game, as is Master Yoda, which I got to imagine is going to be a surreal experience all in itself.
yeah, we're gonna see Master Yoda. I want younger Master Yoda, the one that was like flipping around and doing all those gymnastics and stuff. That was such a shocking moment for me. So much so that I was laughing. I was like, "What the hell is going on, bro?" But I do notice. At least I can't tell. I want to know, is C-3PO's one leg silver or not? And if you don't know anything about Mandela effect, look into it because it's creepy. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm more excited about it after watching this than I was originally. Not that I wasn't excited, but I like the way that this looks like the direction they're going. Seems like they're really going to be telling a tale, a story. And that's what I want. I want to be drawn into the Star Wars universe and feel like I'm a part of it in the middle of an actual story, right?
Yeah, and then that's the kind of the cool thing about this is not only do you have this awesome overworld that apparently has quite a bit of game content in it, uh, there's going to be a lot more freedom in this title versus earlier ones because of that, mainly the overworld. But the storytelling structure of the game is not only going to lend us to the advantages that we just mentioned, but it's also going to lead to future opportunities, in my opinion, for DLC. I mean, they can continue to support this thing forever, right? Charge an extra $5 or $10, throw some extra stories in the barkeep, and I mean, this could be a game we're playing 3 years from now, Roots.
Yeah, it could be completely keep evolving and new stories, new directions, and it kind of gives me hope for the actual full fledged Star Wars game. We've got the flying one coming from EA, and now I want the actual Fallen Order, or what is that? I don't know, some kind of an amazing Star Wars story campaign, AAA, and it's coming, and it's maybe a year or two away, but it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg's VR said we need more collabs between us, rendered reality, and VR 365, VR Roundtable. You know, I was watching the VR Link last week, Gamertag's uh, podcast that he does with Matt BMF, and he mentioned something about doing a big collab with like us and the rendered reality guys, and uh, he was calling it like a VR megacast, and I never said anything back to him about it, but I think it's an excellent idea, and we love talking VR, and we can do it all day long. So I agree, Greg. I think that would be a fun thing to do, and certainly would be down for it. Uh, Even if it would be a bit of a nightmare logistically to get everybody in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, it'll definitely would be interesting, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge launching later this year, Roots on Quest and Quest 2.
Only, right?
Uh, yeah, well, yeah, that's apparently.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
it definitely will be interesting to see how this all plays out, because I see a lot of people getting pissed off. if it really is actually Quest only. I don't know, because there is ways to block Revive and stuff, right? If they wanted to completely block them out, they could make it exclusive. They just haven't
Yeah.
really done that yet. I would expect that to happen with Facebook at some point. They're gonna block the competitors out, and then you'll want a Quest.
You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think, again, I think that they're seeing PCVR uh, entities as less and less competitors. Like I don't think that that's so much of a thing to them anymore. So I don't know. And they're becoming a more open ecosystem as far as standalone goes as well. We learned more details this week about um, the alternative path for developers to publish their games for Quest without being on the official Quest store. And basically, what they're going to do, Roots, is anybody with a developer account, and anybody can get a developer account, by the way, I've got one. Um, Anybody with a developer account is going to be able to publish their game uh, directly into the Oculus Quest without the need for side loading anymore. You're not going to have to side load. The games are all going to be hosted by Oculus and Facebook computers. And the way it's going to work is the game developers are going to be able to provide consumers with either a key that they can redeem or basically just a website that they can go download these games at. And there's going to be a separate client in the Oculus Quest for people to go and get these unofficial apps. And again, completely 100% hosted by Facebook. So I think that that's a great thing. I think that it's going to, or even SideQuest thinks that it's a great thing. And they think that their platform is going to become a storefront now for these unofficial Quest apps. And I think that we're going to see side loading become a thing of the past for the most part, Rich. Basically, because nobody's going to have to do it anymore because Facebook is relaxing their policies a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I guess we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how everything falls, right? Because everything's so weird right now. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean that's certainly true. Topsy turvy world's in full effect always. Anyway, let's see here. What else do we have on the docket? Jurassic World Aftermath. We had an idea that this was coming, Roots, because we got leaked images last week of the Oculus Quest 2 box, and one of the titles listed on the back of the Oculus Quest 2 box is Jurassic World Aftermath. It's set to bring a pretty familiar game of hide and seek to Oculus Quest soon. The game is said to include action packed dinosaur encounters that require quick thinking, skill, and a little bit of luck to survive. There will also be tools and devices to help solve puzzles, which will hopefully offer some respite from the manhunt. So we've got a description here, Roots, of what this game is going to be. And it says that you've crash landed on Isla Nublar 2 years after the fall of Jurassic World. Your mission to recover valuable information that goes disastrously wrong when you find yourself trapped in an abandoned research facility. Your only hope of escape is to recover the confidential research for your employers on the mainland as quickly as possible, all while being hunted by deadly velociraptors unwittingly set loose during the island's evacuation. To survive in this adventure, you'll need to explore the research facility, solve puzzles, and find ways to distract and hide from the ferocious velociraptors that stalk your every move. So, Roots, they're saying that this one's going to play a lot like Alien Isolation, which is a game that everyone loves in VR as it is. But instead of aliens, now we've got dinosaurs to hide from.
Cell shading must be made for the Quest. No, just kidding. Oh, I can hear Jarilla
It
freaking
is.
out right now. Yeah, it is, right? I like it. I still stand by the fact that I'm getting sucked into a comic book of Jurassic Park. Now it definitely seems, like a, I guess, yeah, like your type of game, right? Where you're sneaking around, hiding, having to stealth, um, puzzle game.
It just depends on how it's balanced. Stealth generally not my thing, but if there's some puzzle activity mixed into it and the stealth isn't too heavy and require too much patience, I mean, it could be quite good.
Yeah, cool. Looks good.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the graphics look good. It's interesting that someone always makes a comment about this style of graphics. You'd think that every game was doing it the way people react to it when they see it. But the ones I've played so far, especially the modern ones, have all looked really good and they've been very immersive. So I think from the looks of this, that it's going to very much be the case here as well.
Yeah, cool. It looks exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Jurassic World Aftermath being developed by Universal Games and Digital Platforms team in partnership with CoatSync Games. CoatSync has had their hands in VR since the early days, having created the Esper series, doing Shadow Point in 2019, and Augmented Empire in 2017. Most recently, the studio helped bring the tactical team shooter Onward to Oculus
Ooh,
Quest. And the single player survival game is slated to release soon, the developers say. So basically, Universal Games has commissioned CodeSync Games to uh, build this game for them, and then CodeSync has had their hands on some of the better Oculus Quest games to date. So, from the looks of it, Universal could not have done a better job of selecting a studio to partner up with.
it's just another brand big um name thing out there, right? Jurassic Park's huge. Everybody knows it. It's on the box of Oculus Quest. You know what I mean? Like these are things that the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, everybody knows Walking Dead. It's really good that everybody coming into this new headset are going to have like real IPs, real things that they already know, worlds they've wanted to go into probably their whole life. Um, it's exciting.
Absolutely, and yeah, we're seeing more and more of it. That's why I kind of put all this. I mean, right here in a row, even just on this week's news, we've got the Walking Dead franchise, we had the Star Wars franchise, and now Jurassic Park. I mean, people will go out of their way to tell you that VR isn't mainstream, but man, these are some pretty big franchises that are jumping headfirst into VR, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, and again, I think we can thank the virus partially for it. Everybody was forced into hiding inside and quarantine and the whole idea of being stuck somewhere and needing that avenue and then not being able to get into it. I just think it's all coming together and I said it earlier. I think we are in for a surprise this next year at how fast things will progress.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's very much the case, especially with technology, that the more you progress, the faster you progress, and that's kind of what I'm expecting here, especially with this Oculus Quest 2. I think that while it's going to be a fairly similar experience to Quest 1 when it launches, I don't think it's going to take long at all before it separates itself into being a league apart from the original.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're coming up on the 2 hour mark here, Roots. Do you think we should keep rolling with it, or do you think we should cut straight to reminders and then just do the rest of the show as the Monday show this week?
I'd say probably the latter, just so that we can. I don't want. I personally, this is my selfish thing. I want to be there for roundtable. I don't want to
Yeah, I
miss it.
got you.
But also, I want. Don't want people to be conflicted either. I want everybody to be able to go over there and then watch the rest of what we got going on. Although we are pretty much screwing Scion VR, and then maybe it's you deserve it for being late and sleeping in. But now he's gonna have to wait another day to hear about Myst, and it's exciting times.
Yeah, well, I mean, Scion tends to attend the Monday show a little bit better. Anyway, I think the nighttime
Slot.
start time kind of suits Scion a little bit better than the early morning.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Scion, a man of my own kind, because I'm right with him there. Anyway, so why don't we then just jump straight into our weekly reminders? And folks, we've got a list. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more games that I had scheduled to talk about. That we'll just go ahead and cut that out, and we'll make that our topic for the Monday show. So when we do the Monday show, whether it be tomorrow or on Tuesday, Ruuts and I, of course, will kick off the show by talking about what we've been playing, and then as a topic, we'll come in and start talking about some more of these games that we learned about this week.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move into reminders, and we're going to start off our reminders this week and every week by asking you all to help us support these developers in a very easy and simplistic way by joining us now in real time as we take to Steam or Oculus to wishlist these titles. It's a very big help to the developers. It helps them to raise the profile of their game within the storefront that they are trying to sell on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't do this right now because I don't have. Well, I guess I could. Maybe I guess I could look. I want to. My number one thing I want to do on this is Saints and Sinners for the Quest 2. I want to wish list that sucker. I don't even know if it's on the page yet, or is it?
I don't know. To be quite honest, I haven't checked to see if it's on the Quest. Oculus is generally pretty good about putting those coming soon titles on there, but I can tell you rather quickly here if you would just bear with me a moment. Yeah, I'm with you though, bro. I'm wanting to. I'm very anxious to see how that game comes out on the new hardware. But again, it goes back to what I was saying a moment ago, that half of my hype for these games is actually hype for the headset itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely it's on there. It's exciting, man. I want to play this on the Quest 2.
All right, let's see here. I'm looking for it. I'm on the Quest page right now, and coming soon in pre-orders. Okay, here we are. Well, you know what? I don't see it, but I do see. Well,
I saw it on there. I think it says coming soon with Meat Grinder. I couldn't wishlist it because I was actually, I don't know. I'm not logged into my Oculus account because I don't have the Quest.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I just said it that I think I'm going to buy Red Matter. I'm going to wish this Red Matter because I'm not going to pay $25 for it. But the moment they put it on sale, I think I'm going to pick it up. So
that's a good idea.
I'm going to go ahead and wishlist that. Be sure to let us know in the comments down below what game you guys wishlisted. All right, Ruuts, that's going to move us on to free stuff and killer deals. And some pretty killer deals going on again this week. But again, these are the same deals mostly that we had last week. Just continuations of sales that we already reported on. First, the first killer deal I want to inform everyone about is a super killer deal, maybe the biggest killer deal that we've ever had on the segment, and that is Oculus Quest 2 is available for pre-order starting at $299. Ruuts, this device supports an all-new blazing fast XR2 chipset and near 4K LCD panel, the highest resolution consumer VR headset on the market, and it's a standalone, and it's $299. Can you think of a more killer deal than that?
No, that's it. That's the killer deal of the week. And you only have to wait a 3 weeks, and you'll have it in your hands.
Something like that. About
a little
about
bit
3
over.
weeks, a little more, a little over. Yep. As always, we'd like to remind you that the PlayStation Plus games for September are Street Fighter 5 and PUBG. Those games are absolutely free to purchase if you're subscribed to PlayStation Plus. That we're going to be available for about 2 more weeks. So if you haven't got them already, you'll want to be sure to get on there and grab them. I just want to remind everyone that the huge PlayStation VR game sale is going to continue for about 4 more days. So if there's any of those titles that you're wanting to pick up, now's the time to do it. It's going to be over with before you know it. And in case you're wondering what games are on sale and what kind of good deals there are, uh, look no further than the most recent episode of the Monday Show, where we detailed not only all of the must-have games that are on sale right now, but also a lot of hard to pass up on deals as well. So be sure to go back and check that out. This week brings us 3 free titles from the Epic Game Store, Ruuts. Football Manager 2020, which, by the way, not a football game, it's a soccer game. Stick It to the Man, and Ruuts, get this, Watch Dogs 2 free on Epic Game Store this week.
That's crazy, right? Yeah, and that's one of the things that I just it's funny because every week you're my reminder, Wes. Like as I was going through the notes, I was like, oh shit, I got to go back to Epic. I went over to Epic Game and got all 3 games. Because there's a game that just came out recently, a flat game that's got rave reviews on Steam, and then I found out I got it like 3 weeks ago, and I thought about going back in, and it's a co-op game, and I was like, wow, that's like you just never know what's going to be on that list that you might want to check out down the road. Maybe your VR headset smokes and catches on fire, and you have to play flat gaming for a month. I don't know. It's just always good to have options, right?
Absolutely. Options are always the best, especially when it comes to VR gaming. You want to have as many options as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. The Steam. No particular great deals to speak of this week on Steam that wasn't present last week. But I will say this, that the Steam PAX event ends today. Today's the last day of the PAX event. So be sure to take advantage of all of the sales and demos that were available on Steam while you still can. Again, today the last day of the PAX event. So you're going to want to go in there straight away and check all this stuff out
I missed
before
it.
it's too late.
I missed it, Wes. Even though I still have a day, I missed it. I already know I'm not going to go in there. I want to go in there. What do I need to do to get myself in there?
Click on Steam.
Just do it, Ruuts. Come on, man.
Paradise Case says, "Stick It to the Man" played in Vortex, and the profile is now on Vortex. So he uploaded a profile so that we can all play this free Epic Games Store title in VR. So thank you, PD, for your contribution to the community. We appreciate it. Let's see here. Oculus Quest Store. We've got the daily deal today, which is virtual reality. $12. Everybody says this is a good one, Roots, that I need to check out. Never played it.
Really? No, this is actually a pretty good one. It would be a good one for the Quest. I enjoyed it. It's very bizarre and trying to figure out what's going on because there is an underlying story and it's kind of depressing. And your whole thing is that it's just different than what you think it is. And I really enjoyed it. I definitely think it's worth checking out.
Well, you can enjoy it for $12 on Oculus Quest. Soon to come to Oculus Quest 2, and I do think that this is a cross-buy title, so you can get it on Oculus Rift as well. Roots, you know, you're going to get your Quest 2 in, and before you buy anything, you're going to have a library of titles that you're dispensed just from cross-buy alone.
I know, and I'm also excited about like some of the devs as they give us keys for Quest stuff. I can actually get a key because it's been because they've only needed one. I don't know. I'm excited on a lot of levels. I think the wireless thing alone is you nailed it. I've never experienced wireless VR. I've always had that shit on my shoulder, and I want to take it off, Wes. I want to take it all off and just prance around my Yeah, take
And
off the
again,
tether.
though, it isn't all just about getting rid of that wire. it's not just about that because the wire doesn't really bother me in most cases. What it's about is the friction going away. That you can just play like it's a flat game. You just pick it up and play it. You don't have to fuck with anything. You just put it on and you play.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. I think that the friction um, is real, and I'm excited to not have it, at least for some part of my VR experience.
Yeah, it's something that's going to grow on you over time. I guarantee it. Also, a couple of limited $33 bundles on the Oculus Quest store. These bundles will be available for the next 5 days, and each of them costs $33. First of all, we have Tetris Effect and Space Pirate Trainer. Ruuts Tetris Effect, a great game, worth the price of admission alone. But then you get Space Pirate Trainer, which is a game that many people consider to be the best wave shooter in VR.
Yeah,
So, great deal here. And SPT is another cross-buy title, so you get that on the Oculus Link platform as well.
wow, how good. And that's one of the things too that I'm excited to check out. One of the titles we didn't talk about, we'll talk about Monday, with the particles and stuff. Same thing with Tetris Effect. I want to see how good that looks on the Quest 2, compared to the PC version. Because the PC version blows my mind. I think it's going to be really good on Quest as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. The other bundle we have here is Aspire 1 and Sirento Untethered. Roots, Sirento, a game I need to get back into. I played it in my very, very earliest days in VR, and I really wasn't all that impressed. But apparently, it's had a bunch of updates since then, and a lot of people really, really love Sirento. So it probably deserves another shot.
I've never played it untethered either. So I don't know. I really enjoyed Sirento. It's a good co-op game as well, but definitely a lot going on, and it is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was co-op. That's cool. The untethered version actually isn't a straight port. It
Mm.
has its own maps and things for Oculus Quest.
Okay, well, I know the original, the Rift version or the PC version is co-op. I've gone in with somebody, so I'm assuming this one is as well, but maybe I could be off base. But I don't know. This is I've never played a game like when you get somebody that really has put the time into this game, and I think Anthony talked about one of his friends back in the day. Like there's so many you can flipping and bouncing off of walls. Like it is next level. Um, it's one of those games that once you've learned how to move around, it changes everything. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was kind of the thing. It seemed like it had quite a bit of a learning curve to it, and it was kind of rough around the edges. Visually and gameplay wise when I played it. But
mm.
again, this was a very long time ago.
Cool.
Um, all right, so we move from the Oculus Quest platform onto the Oculus Link platform, where Red Matter is on sale for $16. Roots, if this was a cross-buy title, I'd be all over it, but it's not.
Uh,
So, still a good price though for a very good game.
yeah, I already own it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be buying this on Quest 2 or not. I'm curious like you, but I've already played through the entire game. So we'll have to see. It is cool though. I really like the way they use those controllers for the hands and stuff. Gives you really good presence, right? It's a type of thing to where they've changed your hands into the controllers and integrated it in, and it just feels good.
Yeah, it's perfect. And the way they've done the locomotion, all of it just really works.
Yep.
Dark Days, Roots. 49 cents for Dark Days right now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. And I didn't even pull the trailer for that, but I remember it. Is that the one where you're driving in the car and it's like I can't remember exactly what game that is, but 50 cents, my lord.
Yeah, I think that's the one where you're driving in the car and then there's a storm coming and you stop at the hotel and
Oh yeah, okay. It's kind of
yeah,
has like that psycho vibe, right? A little
yeah.
bit. Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. If I'm thinking of the correct game, and I'm pretty sure that I am, certainly worth 50 cents.
Yeah, 50 cents. It's like a point and click adventure type of thing, but you're actually in it. And it was pretty good from what I played.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Groundhog Day, $10. Roots. People clearly mad at launch that this game was $30. Not anymore. $10. Get you a pretty good narrative VR experience.
I like this game. $10, it's worth it. $30 was a bit overpriced for what you get, but definitely enjoyable game, especially for $10.
Yeah, and then we have Carly and the Reaper Man for 13, which is a couch co-op game. So, if you want to get some spectators involved in the game with you, Carly and the Reaper Man a great way to do that.
Yeah, it's one of those good games that we all know them. All the flatties, the people out there that VR makes me sick, or for whatever reason they're just never getting into VR. But now you
Flat
can,
games make me sick, Roots.
yeah.
Flat gamers make me sick.
I don't blame you though. They make me a little bit sick as well, myself included. But no, it's one of those things where there's always that person that doesn't want to go into VR. They get left out, right? But now they can go ahead and they can be included. And this game is actually really fun because it gets crazy. You have to be very cooperative, or things fall apart quick. So
Yeah, that's kind of the whole gist behind these kinds of games. Work, teamwork, working together, and it works. It's a good concept. So
yep, absolutely.
that brings us finally to Viveport Infinity. Roots. I didn't see any big budget, additions to Viveport Infinity this week, but what I did see though is an indie game that looks halfway decent. Actually, it's a game called The Stranger, and the Stranger basically is one of these Doom style or like Serious Sam style arcade shooters. And what's really interesting about it is the some of these set pieces look really, really massive and beautiful. So while the gameplay loop is kind of basic, the environments are pretty breathtaking from the looks of it. And again, it's on Infinity, so it doesn't cost anything. And fans of those old style shooters like Serious Sam and Doom may want to give this one a look. It might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, this looks pretty good actually, and it's something that I could see myself. Like you said, even just the that space, man. I wish our sky looked like that at night. I mean, there's just so much stars and craziness. So I think it would be visually stunning, and it is free. And somebody mentioned this corporate zombie. Carly and the Reaper Man is also on Viveport Infinity as well as Groundhog Day. So both of those games, if you have Viveport Infinity, wait, don't buy them. You don't have to buy them unless you love them. You can play them for free on Viveport Infinity.
I think that we could do a 2 to 3 hour episode just talking about the awesome games that are on Infinity.
Yeah.
Not the joke, indie games that we like to do, but just talking about the games that everyone should have already played by now that are on there. I mean, it's gotten so good over the last 2 or 3 months. They're adding titles, big titles, almost weekly to it, and it really blows my mind just how good it's gotten.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. And it's I know who else blows their mind how big it's gotten.
My mom!
Oh, how dare you!
How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah. Oh,
All right, Ertz. I guess that's going to wrap us up, man, and bring us to our final reminder, and that is how you, the viewers, can help to support our channel. Of course, if you're new to the channel, the easiest and best way that you can help us to grow is by clicking on that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to stay up with all of our content here on Virtual Strangers. For those of you who have been subscribed for a while and would like to do a little something more, you can do so by supporting us on Patreon, where for as little as $3 per month, you can gain access to our weekly show notes as well as bonus content, which will come in the form of the always awesome Money Show. And then, of course, For those of you who don't want the conversation to end, who wants to continue the talk, you can do so by scrolling down to the description below, and there you will find an invitation to our Discord. Upon clicking that, you will once and for all become a permanent member of our loving community, and you can join in the conversation, which pretty much is ongoing 24/7 on our Discord channel.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people joining up lately, so you should
Yeah,
join as well.
we had quite a few come in this week. It's been almost daily. We've had a few a day, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, the strange. Okay, so who was it? Sion wants to know what game that was, and you told him the stranger. Roots, have you ever given yourself a stranger? You know what that is?
No.
It's when you lay on your left hand and get it numb, and then when you touch yourself, it feels like someone else is touching you.
Oh no, I didn't know. I didn't know about that.
That's called the stranger.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it's the strange. I'm pretty sure this is a different game, but if that's the game, we're going into completely different territory, right? Best use for AI and robotics I've ever heard of.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, on that note, friends, we'd like to thank you all once again for watching. Be on the lookout for the Monday show. If not tomorrow, certainly on Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to basically do the rest, part 2 to this show, to be quite honest. But we'll also be talking about what we're playing and doing all the cool stuff that we always do on the Monday show. So thanks again, guys, for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know.